Liquid, they are going to take the knife round, which means they are going to start off here on the CT side. And with that out of the way, guys, we are officially getting started. So once again, this is our first match this evening here in the fourth night. I think it's actually the final night of week 1 here in the ESL/ESEA Pro League. It's Team Liquid taking on Tempo Storm, a best of 1 here on Inferno. Let's take a look as the match is getting started.
Lawrence picked up those dualies, but there are 3 smokes on the side of Tempo Storm for their terrace side, so they have an execute, planned out for what they want to do. And it's going to be a triple push at the beginning of this pistol round for Team Liquid, and there's Rix getting a nice pick into window, so Naf getting overly aggressive.
And we are going to see here, too, Fugly still trying to hold off up Banana at the moment. The guys on Tempo Storm very, very patient, holding 3 of their players back just on T-Ramp right now, still trying to decide where they want to go. They're using those 2 players, pushing up through alt mid right now, inside of apartments, trying to see if they can kind of get an angle, get some info as to what's actually going on in the A site, and they'll probably make a decision from there. They've still got plenty of time to do it. A lot of progress has been made here by Rix, too. He's completely cleared out mid and has been able to spot pretty much what's going on there, but still beyond that, not able to catch many players, and now that we're getting down to the 1-minute mark, they are going to have to make a choice as to where they actually want to go here pretty soon.
Yeah, and it's going to be over towards B. It's Fugly all alone. He's got to drop this smoke quickly. He does, but they're going to bull rush through that, so he's got to be very, very careful. He's going to play right behind it. Ooh, they actually stopped. They're waiting for the smoke to plume in CT spawn. He's all alone for quite some time. No one's... There we go. Finally, the rotates are starting to come in.
Adren's coming over along with some more assistance from Elige here as well, but they're smoked off. Going to try and toss some frag and see if they were able to catch anything. Fugly's going to be able to get a headshot kill over here on the Hades, but beyond that now, the rest of the Liquid roster is still trying to find their way, and Slip is going to find a frag over here on the Fugly to take him out, and Adren is coming out through the garden here now, trying to see if he can take on anyone. Some nice damage going on to Stanislaw there, but the rest of the guys are still holding back, and now the bomb's down as well, so they're going to have to go for this retake. Slip finds another one, takes out Nitro, and as well Adren trying to fire through, catch the player hiding behind Newbox right now. Elige gets caught out there by Stanislaw, and now Adren stuck inside of construction there. He's going to get taken out, and Tempo Storm will take the first round.
Yeah, and it all comes down to that opening pick by Rix. Just Naf getting caught out there, unfortunately, in the window. So there was a triple stack at B for Team Liquid, but once that kill goes down, you saw they had to rotate 2 off. They felt very nervous leaving that A so undefended, and they thought, the hit was going to come over there pretty soon. So, Fugly actually held them off for quite some time, but nicely done by Tempo Storm to just keep the pressure on as they took that bomb site and not let Liquid get into good retake positions.
And now coming into the second round here, we're going to see what Tempo Storm is doing. A couple players heading up to alt mid again here. We're seeing SMG pickups out the wazoo here. Glorians as well is going to be picking up a Galil, but the Wandi comes out there from Nap. Beautiful headshot, takes out Hades to start, and immediately is going to put Tempo Storm behind. Fugly as well gets a second one there as he takes out Rix, and just like that, Tempo Storm are down to a 3 versus 5.
Yeah, this is brutal. So down to and no shots even really fired outside of those 2 Liquid players. So 2 bullets, 2 headshots. And they're really spread out at the... There is one player over towards Halls. That's Glorans who's working his way up. 2 are going to come up mid, and there's a lot of room being given by Liquid now. They're up 2 players, so they can just play spotty, and they can just fall back and turtle into the site after they see things. Adren just spots one rap side. That's Stanislaw, and they're slowly working their way up. But Pop Flash doesn't blind anyone. He gets taken out. Still, the rotations come in. The Deagles are still in pit, and this is so dangerous for Tempo Storm.
Naf having a little bit of trouble here now, but does connect the shots there, taking out Stanislaw. They're onto the site. Nitro is outperforming, takes out Glorians before Slip finally takes him down, but now Elige comes in, takes out Slip, and Team Liquid respond beautifully to losing that pistol round, tying it up immediately now at 1-1.
Yeah, Naf and Fugly combined for 2 kills pretty much immediately with those 1 deags, and the rest of them, it's pretty easy from there. They suck them into that bomb site, into a crossfire from pit and the halls, so Liquid responds perfectly, winning that second round.
Now we're going to see what Tempo Storm is trying to pick up. They're just going to pick up some pistols here once again after they lose that. Not going to have a lot of money to carry into the next round. Team Liquid, of course, is going to pick up some anti-eco here, see what they can pull. Famas is going to get brought out here by Naf as well, and Nitro is going to be taking that stolen Galil that he took off of Tempo Storm from the previous round. As for Tempo Storm, trying to see where they're going to work. A lot of guys heading up through alt mid at the moment. Stanislaw is going to be the first inside of the apartments right now. Won't be finding anything in there just yet, so those guys will be able to take that, but take a look at Naf now.
Yeah, Hades is going to smoke off truck, and they're going to hit this A site. Naf's just up on the balcony. He's going to spray the first one down. He got a lot more to do. He runs out of bullets, pulls out the deagle, grabs one more, and he get a second one. He does. Actually, that's 3 for Naf on the round. And a very good cleanup on that execution there. That's a pretty popular anti-eco strat, just smoking off that truck. Titan's been using it a lot recently. You've seen other teams come in, start using it, bring it into play a little bit more. So nice position there from Naf and Nitro, who just cleaned that hit up.
Absolutely. And now, once again, Team Liquid takes the advantage here. It's Tempo Storm going to keep themselves saving once more. Couple. The Eagles coming out here once again, specifically from Slip Hades and Glorins. And beyond that, the rest of the guys are going to save up. Stanislaw is going to pick up a smoke, which he's going to toss out immediately up towards mid. And he does have a flash as well here. But some aggression coming out from Team Liquid now as they do go for a nade stack down Banana. Not going to be able to catch anything with that yet. And as well, it is going to be mollied off, so they won't be able to pressure into these guys just. But as you take a look here, Tempo Storm is fragmented at the moment. If they do push through with these guys, they might be able to catch a couple members of Tempo Storm off and start them off with an early lead here. But with the smoke, I don't think that they're going to be wanting to do it just yet. But take a look at this boost now coming out from Hades. Hades going to try to see if he can catch anything down Banana. Fugly not checking that one, but he might have been able to find him. As you'll see, Hades taking a look, doesn't spot it though, and Fugly takes out Hades to start Liquid off in an advantage position.
Yeah, that was dangerous. Hades had one chance to hit that shot, just kind of misses it, but it was a good idea. That's something we normally see out of Oppers, but Hades had a good read on that situation there, and still, look at Team Liquid. Look at how passive they're playing so far back at the moment. We saw CLG play, I can't remember what team it was. It was another one of the move-ups, and they were just overly aggressive down mid, and they shut things down before it could even begin, but Liquid taking a different route. Even going to fall all the way back into this B-bomb site despite the advantage of weaponry.
And again, as we just said, Liquid, they're holding back right now. The guys on Tempo Storm, they've moved in towards the upper part of Banana right now, but Liquid again here trying to hold it. Gorns is able to find a headshot, but Elige as well is holding off here, but Slip pops through there, gets a headshot with the Deagle, and another one immediately after that to take out Elige and Adren. Now they're on site. They've got a man advantage here. Rix is taking some damage, though, so he's going to get brought down low. Slip holding just outside in the guard right now. He is going to be able to connect a shot on Nitro, bringing him down to 62 HP. And unfortunately, Team Liquid are not working with the best situation right now for a retake.
Yeah, they were just played far too passive. They seemed so scared to peek those pistols, and now it's up to Nitro, or Nap. Nap gets one, but Glorins cleans things up. So these Deagles on these eco rounds have been brutal, and we saw a lot of that last night. But the two B defenders with pistols and flashbangs, they were playing so scared at the bomb site and at the the choke point over towards CT spawn. It was just like they were just swinging out, trying to connect with a couple lucky shots instead of committing. It's, you know, you're going against the pistols with no armor. Just take the fight.
Pretty much, and now we're going to see Tempo Storm tying things up because of that. They do have they have a pretty big buy coming out from these guys. Still going to see a Galil and a FAMAS here from Rix as well as Glorins as well, but full nades and all that still coming out for the most part as well. And Tempo Storm now pushing to Liquid. Liquid still has a full arsenal as well, so we're going to see just what these teams are able to work with now that both really have a pretty big and heavy arsenal to their names now.
Yeah, and this is a big round for Liquid here, buying up, and no really advancement from Tempo Storm. One thing they have done, they've taken Hall's control. Slips up there, he jumped in the window, and that's good. Hall's is one of the spots that kind of gets ignored at time, but it's one of the few spots. Oh, Hades smoke spams the corner, but gets responded in kind. So that's a 1-for-1 trade down to a 4-on-4.
Now here, once again, we're trying to see what Tempo Storm is going to work with. A lot of their guys hanging out either inside of the apartments or around the mid area right now, trying to find a way on. Liquid has caught on to this, though, and they have 3 players, but now, as you'll see from Tempo, they are going to move the bomb carrier back over towards Banana, where right now it's only going to be Elige hanging out there. So if they do go for an aggressive enough pusher, they still have quite a few smokes. They can definitely pull it off. If they're able to push into this site quickly enough. Liquid's catching on, though, and they can definitely get control of the site and hopefully get the bomb down at the very least.
Yeah, it's all gonna be up to how Adren is able to support him, how long Elige is gonna be able to survive. They have a couple pop flashes to work with, and there it is. The smoke start coming over. Elige throws one out. He throws out a second one, but he didn't want to get shot, so he bounces it off the roof, and he's stuck behind his smoke right now, trying to find a kill. Adren comes in to support him. They have a crossfire, but Sand gets the first one. Adren grabs 2, so down to a 2-on-2. Nitro's the closest one. His teammate is so far away, just now leaving the A bomb site, so it's gonna be quite some time. Nitro's on his own to try and gain some positioning for the retake.
Trying to sneak through construction at the moment, but unfortunately he is going to find that he's smoked off here. Has a pop flash ready to go, though. Is going to toss that right over, see if he can find anything with that. But as you take a look now here, now that the smoke is clearing, they're going to try to push into the site now. Nice shot by Naf there. Takes out Rix. All up to Glorins now to hold things off. He's hiding out inside right now, and he's actually going to be able to take out both of them. Liquid, unable to find Glorins, and Tempo is able to clutch the round. Very well played there by Glorins.
Yeah, definitely. He's so patient as well. He had so many opportunities where he could have peeked, but he just plays it smartly. Even in a 1-on-2, wins it, spins around, grabs a Nitro. So it's going to be a third one from Tempo Storm, and you know they're not doing too much. They're just taking that Hull's control. They're pushing whatever defense is back, but Liquid's already playing so far back, and they've just been falling back towards B. So being very efficient on how they want to take that site.
Now, once again, we're trying to see where Tempo Storm is going to decide to take themselves here now. They are pushing most of their players right now, just trying to split up and work. If they have any picks, they do have their bomb carrier, however. He is going to push back up, and they've kept the bomb at the least up right now. But as you take a look there, too, 3 of the players from Liquid are actually stacked right there, so that's going to be a bit of a hard one to work with now. As you can see, Hades caught out in the crossfire, not going to get taken down though. There's 2 other Liquid players. Only a Liege has popped through right now, and because of that, they're not going to be able to execute here anyone from Tempo Storm.
Yeah, they are just going to work that mid. Stanislaw with the Mac 10 drops one. Naf's going to push Halls, try and find some information, but Glorens is waiting for it. So Tempo Storm on the other side of the map, while they're putting pressure on Banana, the rest of them were just playing far back and waiting for a push like that. Now Fugly, what kind of magic does he have with the Deke that we've been seeing all night? Nothing so far. Let's get that one, Deke. Can he get a second one? No, he falls. That's going to be the A bomb site. Elise just left to dink Ricks and then fall to the P90. So 4-2 for Tempo Storm. Looking good opening up here on Inferno, but we talked about both these teams having their struggles of their own kind on the CT sides.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to Tempo Storm trying to claim as many rounds as possible. If they can keep a trend like this going into the later part and be able to take a very heavy advantage at the end of this half, then it's going to look great for them. But if Liquid bounces it back, bounces it back and keeps this one to a close half, then we could very well be seeing Liquid take a pretty heavy advantage in the second half too.
Yeah, here's what's scary for Liquid, though. They don't really have a lot of utility. They have 5 smokes, which is good. They only have 1 kit and just a couple flashbangs, so this is going to be a very, very tough round for them, and they've got to, even if they win it, they've got to start building up this economy. It looks like a really heavy, very aggressive A-take coming out of Tempo Storm. Nitro is playing right under the balcony. He's going to grab a blind. Stanislaw peeks out, grabs Hades, who had the bad recoil from spraying. 3 members come out, drop in a pit for Tempo Storm. It's a gunfight here. They clear out underneath balcony. There is still 1 player over there, but they're stuck in the pit right now, so the rotations have come in, and they're holding them in position. Dren jumping over the smoke finds one. A nice shot from him, and there's Naf. So they eliminate 1 half of the attack up mid, and they just isolate those players inside the pit.
And the Dren pops right in there to take out the last player, which is going to be Slip. Liquid with a beautiful response there to hold off of the A site. And now we're going to retaliate, bringing the score up to 3. We're still 1 behind Tempo Storm. With a round like that, it is going to put some hurt on the Tempo Storm.
Yeah, but Tempo Storm's got a couple buys in them, especially if they get a bomb plant. You know, they've got a pretty decent economy behind them. Glorens, Hades, and Slip still pretty high up there. So a bomb plant can help them out immensely. And Nitro is still on that Famas with no head armor, so they're still a little bit beat up, but they're starting to stabilize a little bit with that win. They just need to string them together now.
Heavy push from Tempo Storm. They're going to move up alt mid right now, see if they can catch anything there. No progress made just as of yet. And we'll see once again what they're able to work with this one, as in just a moment here they should be able to make their way, and they've slowed it down once they've gotten to the top of all mid. But Stanislaw is going to through mid right now, see if he can catch anything there. Taking a look at Naf now holding off in the pit. He is going to be able to find a headshot kill over here on a Slip, takes him down, and just like that, that pushes Tempo Storm back, and they are having second thoughts, even though they do have 2 players on the site. Smoked off right now too is going to be Dren rather, as well as Nitro. The rest of these guys on Liquid still trying to find their way into the site as Tempo Storm will finally take control.
Yeah, and being very cautious about planting the bomb. Make sure they've secured the bomb site before doing so, and now it's onto a tough retake. If this Halls player goes down, though, it could be very scary. There are 3 stuck inside the bomb site. But here comes Fugly up lane. He's got a teammate behind him. That's a Liege. They're going to have a lot of work to do. Nitro coming from the other side. They're getting flanked out in lane, though, and there's Ricks with that flank. Takes out the last player. So a nice take on that A bomb site from Tempo Storm, and Liquid played that so passively. They had 1 player in the pit who got a nice initial kill, but the rest of his teammates got stuck behind a smoke and moto and couldn't assist him, even though he survived for quite some time.
And now, as we head into the next one here, trying to see what Team Liquid is going to be picking up on a fairly limited economy now. Only 1 flash at all, and beyond that, a couple Deagles and P250s. The rest of these guys not going to be picking up too much. 5-7 from Dren as well, and unfortunately, this should be another easy lineup for Tempo Storm unless they screw up seriously here and lose players to a bit of a bad peak or something like that.
Yeah, well, they did blow it on the second round, didn't they? Or
That's very true.
They just got 1 Deag, so it could be scary for them, but look at this stack going on, by the way, at the they had they have a lot of players underneath the porch right now, so anyone coming up mid could get beat up rather easily. But right now, just throwing some smokes, trying to bait out any kind of flashes or shots, and trying to make them feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's working. Alicia's going to have to hold down this B bomb site if they actually aggress and put any pressure on it.
You're seeing here, too, very slow workout from these 2 players on Tempo Storm right now, trying to make their way up and in, and this could set themselves up for a potential fake with the other 3 pushing actually into the A side. Unfortunately, that really won't work into their favor if they do decide to do that. Best course here from Tempo Storm is going to be either to pull a full 360 and head towards B, or go for this full solidified push, but even that will get a bit aggressive. Grenades coming out here right now. Naf blind firing through the smoke, trying to see if he can find anything. Stanislaw is going to get not 1 but 2 frags here on both the Dren and Fugly to start things off, and now that they've made their way in, they've seen that Team Liquid is pretty much all there, so they're going to completely turn themselves around and start to head over towards the B side. Glorens as well, who's camping out inside of the apartments right now. He's able to take out Nitro, and the rest of those guys are already hightailing it over towards the B site.
Yeah, Leash having a tough time connecting. He didn't get Ricks, but he's just going to get taken out. So There were a lot of players for Liquid stacked. That was the attack they wanted. They wanted them to come up mid and take that fight. And they just didn't win it. So nicely done by Stanislaw mowing down 2. And now Liquid's got, a decision to make here, and they are going to go ahead and buy up. Another situation where their economy isn't allowing them to do everything they probably want. Nitro back on a Famas once again. Only 1 kit on a NAF. And no head armor on any of them. Not too big of a deal against the AK-47s, but Nitro doesn't even have any smokes or flashes or whatever, so very, very difficult situation for them, where they're going to start to need rounds more than they need to save here, so really it's kind of going to get desperate pretty soon.
Yeah, and now we'll see too. Team Liquid trying to go for that triple stack down Banana again. Not really going to work out too obviously, as Tempo Storm going for a big push into the A site here. Very little resistance from the guys on Liquid at all, but Naf here is going to try to hold out Nitro as well. Does get taken out by Stanislaw. Glorins though tries to make his way in through the balcony. Not going to work out so well. Naf here kicking some butt, already up to 3 frags. Adren coming in there as well is able to take out Stanislaw, and just like that, all down to Rix. And it looks like Team Liquid should be taking this round.
Yeah, Naf was an absolute hero that round of 3 kills, and there's Rix getting 1 on the Fugly, so nice shot by him, finds the angle. He doesn't really have any kind of an opportunity to win this round other than taking some guns out of their hands, forcing some rebuys and keeping the economy low, but you gotta say, Naf and Pit, he would have done great with just 2 kills and staying alive. He gets a 3rd one and just saves the day, so he makes up for Nitro falling early, and that's going to be the 4th round for Liquid. It looks like Rix just wants to save the weapon. He's only got 900, so not the worst idea if they let him live, and they really can't afford to chase him down. That's the other thing. I'm sure Liquid would love to take this gun out of his hands, but they don't have the money. If they do happen to lose 1 more rifle, they just keep getting beat up in terms of their money. So no point in risking it there.
Really convenient too for it to be Rix, as the rest of Tempo Storm shouldn't have too much of an issue buying after this one, if he's assuming he's able to save this rifle, as Tempo Storm is quite a bit stacked up in their economy right now. But it looks like, again, pretty much as you said, Team Liquid is just going to sit back for the time being, not going to want to take a risk on pushing out towards him, so Rix should have no trouble saving this AK, taking it to the next round. Has head armor there too, as well as that flash. Will take that into the next round, and Liquid will take the actual round win.
Yeah, and Tempo Storm's doing some really simple, very basic things to kind of switch up the looks they're giving Liquid. They're not running anything that fancy, but they're just switching things up, the speed and with the aggression that they're doing it. They've spread out into these defaults a couple times, and then a few times they've just kind of walked up to A and just executed within the first 30 seconds. So they're trying to catch Liquid players a little bit off guard, especially knowing probably how low their economy was. They don't have all the smokes and Molotovs they'd want, so they know there'd be a little bit of a window of opportunity. And now look at this, a heavy B play, 4 people. So Liege and Fugly are going to have their hands full coming up soon.
Absolutely, and this is very odd from Tempo. Tempo haven't really tried anything like this just as of yet here, so this could potentially catch Liquid off of guard. Nice grenade, though, does put some damage on the slip here, and we are going to see now the guys over here on Tempo Storm holding back once again as this molly does come off. They'll smoke it off immediately after that, and Tempo Storm unfortunately will have no choice but to hold back here for a few moments. They are going to move Hades off of this one as well. Hades is going to be taking a look down mid just to ensure that no one from Liquid is creeping up behind them, but for the time being, this smoke here from Liquid is going to hold back the guys on Tempo, and Tempo will really have nothing to work with for right now.
Yeah, and no noise whatsoever in mid or alt mid. I mean, Tempo Storm has no possession of any kind of map control, so it's definitely going to be this B hit. Elish drops that Molotov. That's doing a lot of damage. Sam's forced to run through. He gets sprayed down blind. Elish burns one as well, so his attack gets cut off and stopped. Fantastic defense from Elish and Fugly over at B.
Tempo Storm just going to try to go for it here. Liege, though, holds off, takes out both Hades and Rick before Glorins is able to finally eliminate Liege. But it's now just all up to Glorins, and unfortunately with Team Liquid already rotating into the site once more, not a lot for the last player on Tempo Storm to do, and he's probably just going to have to hold on to this rifle and see if he can take it to the next round. But he might actually decide to go for it here. Goes for that pop flash, creeping out around the corner right now, but immediately has some second thoughts about that as he tries to creep back. Only 15 seconds left on the clock here anyway. Just going to probably try to hold this angle and see if he can take it to the next round, but that's not going to happen. Pops out, Fugly takes him out, and Team Liquid will take that round, now only just about 1 more behind from tying it up on Tempo Storm with a score of 6-6 potentially.
Right, and a couple of fantastic efforts individually on defense there from Elish and Naf the round before at the A bomb site. So multi-kills, 3 and 4 kills for both of them, playing very, very well. And that Molotov he dropped was crucial because you could see the rest of Tempo Storm, 2 players got through it. One had to run through and take a lot of damage, but the rest of them just got stuck behind it. One of those situations where they just felt like they'd lose too much to run through it, and effectively just breaks that down. And that was crucial because it's a round where Tempo Storm, it's all 5 players to be for basically the whole round for that execution, and just, default stops it.
And now, as we're going to see here too, now that Tempo Storm's economy has been hit pretty heavily here, they are not going to be able to pick up much. Once again, going heavy on the Deagles to see if they can make anything work with that. Only one player is going to be able to pick up head armor, and that's going to be Stanislaw, as he comes at P250 as well. The rest of them, they were working B here for a little bit, trying to see if they can make any progress there, but have already had some second thoughts about that, and now there is a little bit of a stack lining up to try to either jump into the apartments or work with mid here. Looks like it's going to be mid, though, as they're setting up to smoke it right now, and they'll probably push in just a second.
Yeah, but Adren's playing very alone at the moment. Nitro looks like he doesn't want to get aggressive. He's trying to get Adren to fall back, and finally listens to him. Gets back into the bomb site. He was very, very isolated. And now it's Nap all alone on the Rap side. He's protected by a smoke spraying through, doing some damage. And now they're going to come for him, so he reloads. Able to spray one down, a second one down as well, and two more to deal with. A nice headshot.
And now down to a 2 versus 4 here, and just like that, the rest of the guys on Tempo Storm get eliminated. Team Liquid takes the round, tying it up at 6-6, picking up pretty much 4 AKs as well here now for the guys on Team Liquid. So Team Liquid sitting very, very pretty right now in terms of their economy and their weapon setup. Whereas Tempo Storm, unfortunately, again, kind of expect them to lose that pistol round, but now they're going to be able to bring out a full arsenal for the most part once again here as well. And we'll see what they can work at as the score ties itself up here.
Yeah, they have 6 rounds already, which is good. So the rest of these, anything after this is kind of, it's just gravy. Although with their CT side struggles, you'd expect they want to get everything. Nav's going to, much like he did pistol round, get aggressive into the window, go for a pick, but he eats a nade for his trouble. And he's not even going to fall back. He's actually going to push holes and grab the angle. He's got to be careful, though, because one went to the left, so that could be scary. Fugly drops one over at B.
Liquid, though, still playing it safe. They are just going to continue to smoke off Banana for the time being here. Not going to want to take a risk on risking pushing through that and potentially losing any players with that. This will allow the guys on Tempo Storm to push through here once again as well. Move their bomb carry out from the T-ramp here, too, and hopefully move it over towards A if that's what they do end up deciding to do. But this might end up getting a little bit rough as Liquid is now rotating their players over towards this as well. Still has smoke set up here, so Tempo Storm should be able to get through mid without too much trouble. But these smokes are probably going to sound off the alarms on the Liquid radar here, and they're just going to rotate those other 2 players in, which means Tempo Storm once again might just decide to turn it on to 180 once again and head over to B.
Yeah, but being in a one-man deficit already, I mean, Liquid can just kind of turtle up into the bomb site. And on top of that, they have an AWP and Nav Sands, which I believe is the first op we've seen out of the CTs this half. So that might throw him for a little bit of a loop. But Adren's got to start coming back towards B. He's got to start feeling the pressure there, and he is. He's already rotated to CT spawn, so him and Fugger are going to crossfire set up. And here comes the smokes.
Molly gonna get popped down there as well, doing a lot of damage now as at least Slip gets trapped inside of a corner here. Nowhere he can run. Already a 3-for-1 trade down to Glorens again, and just like that, Liquid with a beautiful cleanup on the B site now will take the lead against Tempo Storm. Yeah,
started out a little shaky for Liquid, but they've really stepped things up. They kind of found their groove a little bit. Some great crossfires have been set up on this B bomb site in the rounds where they've actually hit it. Now they pass the op over to Adren, who's got a great spawn for a mid peak, so expect him to just kind of swing out and peer towards the terrorist ramp.
We're going to see if he's able to work anything with that or if Tempo Storm will play into that angle at all. A lot of players veering towards alt mid. We're only going to see one player head into that, and it gets smoked off. There's a little bit of a corner for him to peek through, though, so he might be able to catch. I believe it's Hades here in just a second, but unfortunately not going to be able to find that. Tosses a grenade back there instead, and will only connect a little bit of damage there, so thankfully Tempo Storm is able to avoid that. But now as they pop through mid here, a little bit of trouble for Adren as finally connecting a shot there. Stanislaw, though, was able to take out Nitro to get it into a 1-for-1 trade. Easily, though, Naf once again will put Liquid into a leading position. Hades again, though, tying things up. Rix as well is going to take down Naf, and now down to a 2 versus 3 in the favor of Tempo as they get onto the A site. But no, Elige catches Rix as he tries to get down to the pit, down to a 2 versus 2. Molly on the site here as well. Hades is going to get forced off of this one in just a second. Elige takes out Slip, and now the rest of them working onto the site. They eliminate Hades, and Liquid with a beautiful recovery once again here will now take a 2-round lead against Tempo as they have plenty of time to defuse this bomb.
Yeah, Rick's taking a huge gamble trying to get out of the bomb site and in the pit to pick up a weapon. He gets punished for it, but a good retake with those Molotovs being very, very patient. That was a really, really awkward situation for Adren. Once they came up mid, missed a couple of shots, but then, you know, he rotates back to kind of defend the Rap side, thinking all the terrorists went that way, and he gets flanked out. So very scary dropping that gun, but not thinking too much of it. They did pick up a double off setup here, so they have 2 of them to play with this round. And it does look like they dropped a couple extra Colts here in CT spawn. In case those ops have to rotate to either one of the bomb sites, they can just pick up a rifle on the way. It'd be much, much more effective on a retake.
And again, Team Liquid going to go for this little bit of an aggressive peek, specifically Adren, of course, going to take the opposition just behind the car here. Fugly as well is getting ready to fire some shots, just trying to see if he can catch anyone with that. There's a little bit of a boost happening here as well from the guys on Tempo Storm, but they again dissipate that pretty quickly here as they are not going to find any aggression from Team Liquid at the start of this one. The rest of Tempo Storm kind of pushing up towards the apartments right now. A lot of players moving towards mid here as well. 2 players looking to peek through that one. No pressure from Liquid, so they should be able to get through there without too much trouble. But when they actually move towards the A site, and especially if they head in the direction of of arches, they might find a little bit of trouble, but considering they just smoked off arches, probably going to head down through porch and then see if they can get over that other way through porch.
Yeah, and a fourth player rotating over towards CT spawn to set up a crossfire on the wrap side. That could be dangerous. It is Fugly. He's just holding a pop flash out if there's any kind of an execute to bail out a Liege. But the bomb, Tempo Storm's not committed up mid, so they take mid control, they make a presence there, and now they're falling back, and Adren's all alone at B. He's at the car with an AWP, and he could catch someone off, but a flash comes over, completely blinds him, and now he's in some trouble.
He's going to give up that ground completely there as he tosses out a counter flash to see if he can hold back Tempo Storm a little bit here. Could have potentially taken up players, but he's going to take the safe route, and instead here, his team has a lead. They want to try and get that 9-6 half, and we're going to see if they can go for it right now as Adren holding off here. Does find a headshot on the slip. The rest of them moving on. Takes a second one on Stanislaw, and we're going to see Fugly as well. Takes out Rix before we finally see a return from Tempo Storm. Glorin's able to get a headshot going to Fugly, but unfortunately all down to Glorins once more, and the rest of Team Liquid is on the way to this site. Only 8 seconds left on the clock. He can't make anything happen here, and Team Liquid are going to be taking this half. 9-6 is going to be the final score.
Yeah, really nice recovery. They were winning 6 straight, down 6-3, and then to win out from there. So really well done by Liquid, picking up the teamwork there in the second half of the first half. So now it's going to be all on Tempo Storm to show us what they've got on their CT side. You know, Liquid, we talked about, struggled on CT side, so does Tempo Storm. So is Liquid going to have the same woes they have on their T side? Their terror sides have been 14%. We said that before the match started. So how are we going to see them come out and play? Are we going to see that passive, you know, really laid-back setups where they just wait everything out and then choose for an executor? Are we going to see some of their entry fraggers like Naf and Fugly, Elige, and Nitro? Are we seeing those? We're going to see those guys get into the action very early on and win some initial battles.
Same story is really going to be here for Tempo Storm. Will they decide to play things passively, or will they go for that aggressive peak? I would think, based on the way that this one's going, the passive play, and just with the way the map plays, the passive play is going to work better for these guys. But again, with them not being able to take the advantage on what was arguably their better side on T side, they definitely have to be feeling the pressure a little bit now as they have switched over to CT, and they are still 3 rounds behind Liquid here. Pistol round's going to be big for these guys.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily known, Tempo Storm, as a passive team. They're known for more of an aggressive team. Players like Rix and Slip love to get aggressive. The scary thing is they played a little bit of a passive setup last night on Cash. They gave up mid control, like I said, just round after round. They didn't really contest for it at all, and they really got punished for it. So I would honestly expect them to not want to play passive at all whatsoever. And we see Glorins again getting those dualies out.
Yeah, interesting. So now we'll see what he's able to work with. That complete buyout from him as he takes a smoke here as well. The rest of the guys just going to go for a couple grenades on Tempo Storm, and Liquid, for the most part, just going to stick with armor buys. Naf is going to grab some grenades to see if they can make any strategical plays with that.
Hades was actually dropped to P250, so is Slip.
And we're going to see as well here the play already getting started. Liquid Elige already with 2 kills onto the board here. Takes up both Glorins as well as Hades. Not a good start for Tempo. And unfortunately, as well here, their 2 players are on side of B right now, which is going to allow them to get in. Stanislaw, go ahead.
Those 2 players, that was such a huge investment. They each had, you know, P250, or Glorins had the dualies, but Hades had P250 armor, and he just gets shut down immediately. So Elige is clotheslining 2 players on his way into A halls. And I mean, look at this retake. This is perfect from Liquid. They smoked off small pit. They kept him back. They take those long angles in the pit, and there's no chance here for Tempo Storm to do anything.
Yep, Rix is trying to get himself in, but he's blocked off here by Naf inside of Boiler. Does get a headshot to take out Naf, but again, absolutely no time to work with anything here, so they're both just going to fall back, and Liquid again with that beautiful entry onto the site. Tempo Storm unfortunately takes a risk there, losing those 2 players at the start. Gives Liquid a fairly easy execute onto the A site, and planting the bomb as well. Not a lot of trouble. Rix will take Fugly with him before he goes down, but still Liquid gets the round, and that's the important thing here.
That's the power of the entry fraggers out of Liquid, and when they let someone like Elige just go like that, I mean, you know, we talked about how passive they've been playing on their terror side. That round, it's just this quick rush up the stairs, and Elige just punishes 2 players. So that's what these players are able to do. Fugly, Nitro, Elige, and even Naf a little bit when he was a starter for this team. You know, they're all just great fraggers early on if you unleash them a little bit and let them do their thing.
Now Liquid once again, very fast push coming up Banana right now, but it's going to be countered out here as well by Tempo Storm. Stanislaw unfortunately exposes himself far too heavily. Elige is going to get a nice easy frag to take him out. Rest of Liquid is trying to work out there. Tempo Storm as well is going to attempt to hold them back, but not a lot of progress being made. You will note here too that Fugly holding off just by the tree here outside of the T-steps inside of the apartments does a lot of damage to Glorins once again as he tries to come up behind these guys, hiding inside of Mexico right now, trying to see if he's going to be able to catch anyone on Liquid off guard, but probably not going to be happening as he took all that damage from Fugly, and now sitting down with 9 HP and nothing left to do. Liquid has all the room in the world to work with right now.
Yeah, now Fugly's got to be worried about Hades, who's making a play in the halls. Misses a couple shots. Fugly's got his number, but misses the shot. So that leaves just 4 players in Banana working their way up towards B, and Tempo Storm has a good read, but they're just so incredibly outclassed in terms of their art, in terms of their weaponry.
Slip as well here, gets caught with a grenade out. Naf gets the easy kill onto him. Rix will respond with his own frag onto Naf to take him out, down to a 3 versus 2. Not completely unwinnable for Tempo Storm, but they do have one player already over on A. He's got to make a big rotation here, heading through CT spawn. And Rix as well is not in the best position to go for a retake, so unfortunately don't believe they're going to be able to make it happen, and indeed it seems to reiterate that now as we'll see them basically falling away here. They're just going to save what they've been able to steal off of the corpses of Team Liquid, and they'll let Team Liquid take another round here.
Yeah, they've done decent damage. They got 2 kills, but they're going to go away with that Galil. Rix didn't buy armor this round because he saved it from the pistol round, and he still got a CZ, so there's an investment there that they want to make next round. So they're setting themselves up nicely to do damage to the economy in the second eco round.
And with that said here, Liquid is going to remain fairly healthy. The damage done by taking out those 2 players is going to be fairly apparent, but with most of the guys on Liquid picking up some fairly light buys, I think we should still be able to see them pick up stuff as well here as we head into the 3rd round, and indeed that's going to be the case. 3 AKs, full nades for the most part here as well, and these one, everybody's got armor. Dren's still going to be sticking with that Mac 10, and as for Tempo Storm here, still going to be sticking with pistols for now. No huge force buys or anything, but they have managed to pick up that Galil, and this means Hades as well is going to be free to pick up armor as well as a flashbang for himself.
And they're doing they have this massive stack over at A right now. They didn't even send anyone towards B, so...
Betting pretty heavily on that, but unfortunately not going to be able to bring this into much fruition here.
They basically have two pop flashes for rep side, so if they hear any Team Liquid execute up to the rep side, they have 2 different players who can throw staggered pop flashes for him. Hades all alone in the pit with that Galil, so hoping that he can get a kill or 2 or at least delay a hit up lane side. But, I mean, this is scary because Nitro is being very ballsy, very aggressive on B. He's trying to clear it out as best he can. They do Molotov off those first oranges to help him out. He doesn't even look towards CT spawn. The smoke was already starting to disappear. Now they're going to hit it. He thinks it's clear. Rix finds the angle, and the rotation comes in. They haven't committed with the bomb yet, so that's a good thing. But we'll see what they have, because this retake is already here. Tempo Storm's all 5 here. They're ready to go. Dren's going to take one off coming through the smoke, but everyone else is coming through as well, and they've got to be careful. There's still a smoke over at Spindle, and that holds them back just for the time being.
And with that said, Liquid should be able to get the bomb down. They're going to get for that plant off right now. Everyone on Tempo Storm hiding out inside of construction right now with no other angles really to work with. Unfortunately, going to limit their options for a retake. Hades as well pops out, gets taken out there by Elige as he's going to eliminate him. And now in a 2 versus 4, it looks like Rix once more will just try to pick up that Galil. He is trapped right now, though, so can't really get away from this one. He's going to have to make a stand here, see if he can take anyone with him, and he is going to have to give Liquid this round, probably.
Yeah, no shot at winning it. Naf's just going to clean him out. So heading into that first gun round, it's going to be 12-6. Liquid managing those anti-ecos very, very well, only losing 3 players total in both rounds combined. And this is a team Tempo Storm last night. I mean, this is something they didn't really have the money for it. They chose to buy up utility instead of the head armor. But even last night, when they had thousands of dollars and they had the money for it, they weren't buying head armor. So they're really taking these this CT buying a little bit seriously by not picking up that head armor, and that's kind of scary at times.
Yeah, and indeed, we'll now see what the guys on Team Liquid are going to be doing here. Again, 3 players pushing up towards Banana right now, trying to see if they can make anything work with that. And it's actually going to go pretty well here. Molly does block off their 3rd player, Dren, but they're still able to work through here as they take out one of the players here from Tempo. But Rix, quick to respond, though, takes out Nitro and even things out to a 4 versus 4 now, as we'll still see those other 2 players from Liquid as well. They're also going to be jumping into the apartments, trying to see if they can catch anyone from Tempo Storm hiding out either in there. We're back over here on the A site. Glorin's hiding out here on the balcony right now. We'll try to catch any of these guys if they try to go down long haul out through the balcony, and also on site is going to be Slip here too. Hades also will join the fray now as he rotates in.
Yeah, I didn't like that secondary peek from Nitro. Him and Elige combined to get an entry frag. You're up 5-4. Just take that win and slow things down, but he decides to get aggressive through a smoke and peek that angle. It's punished for it. Now they're going to work their way up mid. There's 3 Liquid players, 1 in halls, 2 working their way up mid. That's Dren and Naf, and using the smoke a little bit, but now that they put that pressure, they're going to fall off. They're keeping 3 players over at B, but Hades has a good read on the situation. He's immediately falling back towards B. Just kind of gambling that that's where they want to go, and he's gambling correctly, but there's no smokes left over at B, so this is kind of going to be pretty open for Liquid to take this hit. Aside from the 2 players they're going to have to deal with, Rix is crouched just in front of the stairs. He gets dropped. Naf wins that battle.
Now Hades as well here, gonna go for some blind spray, see if he can pick anyone up there. Naf was able to make his way through before that blind spray connected onto him, so he's gonna be surviving. Elise with a quick jump up there. Thankfully Hades not gonna push through with this smoke and play, but he does jump up on top of the boxes now. We'll see if he can catch out Hades or anyone else from Tempo Storm that tries to rotate in. And overall though, these two Liquid players are in a bit of a bad spot, hiding behind second box right now. Dren is kind of just stuck here with Fugly right now, gets flashed off there too, but here comes the rest of Tempo Storm now trying to make their way, and Elise is able to get a headshot, or not headshot, he's able to take out Hades there. And now we're gonna see once again a slip. The smoke's starting to expire here. Will he be able to catch anything? Unfortunately, not. Beautifully timed flash. And just like that, Liquid will clean things up with keeping all 4 of their players alive, only losing Nitro in the process of that round there.
Yeah, poor Slip was so incredibly blind. That was a weird retake, because they had 3 players there, and it was definitely doable, but it looked like some of them wanted to wait for the smoke to disappear, and Hades went through it, and he didn't have anyone coming through with them to trade, and even from CT Spawn didn't come through the smoke to help him out, so... You know, those are situations where it might be better if you're not all going to go through, if you're not all coordinated, just fall back and save those guns and fight for this round, because now they're going to be forced, you know, to buy the CZ, buy the P250s, or do basically a full save, where they could have had 3 rifles for it and even dropped some FAMASs.
Metal's getting so close here to Team Liquid, claiming victory on this map too. It's got to be hurting Tempo Storm here as well. They're going to be getting pretty desperate here pretty shortly, as they know they need to make this comeback happen surely if they want to have any chance of taking this map against Liquid right now, as they are absolutely soaring ahead. So far, I don't believe Tempo Storm has been able to take a single round here on their CT side.
No, it's been 4-0. It's been all Liquid so far this half, playing very, very well, and you've seen it even on pistol round in that first gun round, just 2 players being very, very aggressive over towards B and getting an entry. And now look again, they're going to test the bomb site B. There are 3 players over there with the 4th one rotating. So this is kind of a scary stack for Team Liquid.
Now Team Liquid as well, playing it very patiently. Elige is going to pop through, see if he can find anything, but not really going to be the case. Actually, no, Adren and Elige both able to take out Rix and Stanislaw. Hades will also fall to Fugly elsewhere on the map there too. Down to only 2 defenders now from Tempo Storm, as we see Glorance taking out Nitro. Adren returns that back over onto Glorance, and just like that, it's all up to Slip to try and 1 versus 3 this, and it's not going to be happening as Liquid claim yet another round, continuing their onslaught here on their T side.
Very, very smart play from Liquid on that anti-eco. They smoke off CT spawn and send Elige into water. So just send them to clear out the bomb site, try and find some angles, try and find some opponents, and they just have 2 players far back, you know, watching for any peek from another Tempo Storm player. So Adren on the cart was able to get Rix, who heard him kind of cross in beneath him, and he tried to go for a cheeky peek, but gets dropped. So they send 1 player in, because even if he dies to a stack, they know exactly how many numbers are there, and the rest of the teammate can fall off. And now the solution for Tempo Storm at the moment, they believe it's going to be Hades and his AWP.
Good molly here will block off the guys on Team Liquid from pushing up Banana right now. They'll keep the bomb there too and rotate things to try and work the angle up through mid instead here, but there's also a hold coming out from Hades too. He does get forced back though, so he's going to play things very passively once more. Not going to want to risk losing such a big power weapon like the op at this current stage of the... And as for that Team Liquid as well here, still with a little bit of hesitation on their end, still trying to decide where exactly they want to push it, but setting up for smokes through a push on mid now. This will be the name of the game for these guys, as they should be executing this pretty shortly.
Yeah, throwing their smokes, taking mid up, very cautious. It's going to be all Hades and Library. He's got an AWP. He does find the first kill onto Adren. A lot more to do. He's just going to drop a smoke, and now Fugly, this is his time to lurk out the halls, but he gets hit by a Molotov and slowed down, and now he's blocked off for a number of seconds. Hades goes down to Nitro. Now they're up ramp side. Nitro with another nice shot onto Slip. Opens up the bomb site. Just Glorance. He's got to stay alive or take out Fugly. And he does grab Fugly, so he's got great position in this pit to keep him from setting up on a defensive, and Naf inside the bomb site finds a nice headshot. Down to a 2-on-2, but the Liquid players are so incredibly low, and there's no spot, all because Glorance is still alive. Sprays one down on Elige. Feeling very lonely with 15 HP. Going to try and find the headshot, but he's got to hit 2 clean ones, and Stanislaw just finishes it off coming behind him.
Great box in there from the guys on Storm, just able to come in there and retake the site beautifully. Team Liquid did not clear out enough there when they made their end of the site, and that gave the guys on Storm a lot to work with here as they went for the retake.
Yeah, it was all Glorance and Pit. Staying alive for that long, it denies them from being able to get out of the bomb site once they got into it. Despite 2 amazing entry shots from Nitro, just nowhere to go for Team Liquid after the plant.
It was interesting too. I really thought they were going to drop that one after they lost the op there too, as it seemed like you said, they had those 2 beautiful frags to get themselves into the site. It was just, again, they left that player alive in pit, and he absolutely destroyed them, as there was no one there that had really the balls to pop out and try to punish him for it, unfortunately, as it was going to be too risky to jump out of the site.
Yeah, it's such a crucial position to hold when the attack comes from that ramp side versus coming up lane. You know, when you have opponents coming up lane, you know, they're going to clear out that pit first and then make their way into the bomb site. But when they come from ramp side, you know, having 1 player in pit is just absolutely brutal to deal with, and Glorance shows you why there. Even salvages the op for Hades again. So they're going to have that round with they're going to have that sniper rifle for this round, and we haven't really talked about scores so far. Glorens is 17-14 for his team. Rix is at 14-14. Stanislaus at 13, and then on the Liquid side, it's NAF leading the way with 21, Elige with 19, and Adren with 17. So pretty good distribution of frags among the top three of both teams.
Yeah, definitely. Naf as well was making some absolutely beautiful plays in the first half, and he's definitely carried it over into the second half now. Plays with the Deagles and so on as they headed into the bigger rifle rounds there too. He was absolutely performing very well here and was able to take Team Liquid through some very rough situations.
Yeah, Naf had a couple great rounds. Him and him and Elige that really sparked the, not necessarily a comeback, but that 6-round win streak for him at the end of last half. Naf with a 3-kill round in pit at A, and then the following round is Elige with 4 kills over at B. So after that, it was just all Liquid moving forward.
And now that the match is on pause, guys, we're getting back into it here. Team Liquid now only 2 more rounds away from claiming this map and this match as well. It was just the best of 1 here. Tempo Storm with a long way to make up, although they did just finally take their first round. They're actually going to get a frag kill here. Rix, I think with some assistance from teammates there. Big nade stack is able to take out Elige nice and early and put the guys on Tempo Storm into a very good position.
Yeah, he ate 2 grenades just immediately right to the face from the bomb site. It was a nice stack by Tempo Storm. Nice gimmicky opening to the round there. Catches Liquid off guard.
And now Liquid is still going to try to push up B here, see if they can make anything happen with this push. There's 2 holding from Tempo Storm on that site itself. So they are just going to, I believe, pop off that flash there, see if they can make anything. Trying to set it up, though. Looks like they do have a couple nades ready to roll if they do want to decide to push this, but it has been smoked off, unfortunately. Won't be able to do anything immediately as of yet, as Storm is still going to play it safe, but keep in mind, Storm still has 3 other players sitting on A, so in the event that a quick play does come out from Team Liquid and they push all 4 into the site, that rotation from Tempo Storm may have to be very quickly if the holders on the site don't really actually perform too well.
Okay, so smoke just goes down all, but they missed it. That's a perfect situation for Liquid to come through this, but there are 2 Molotovs still on these B defenders, and here comes the execution. Oh, even the Molotov gets extinguished, so tough hold here for Tempo Storm.
Now they're trying to make their way into the site here right now, seeing if they can find anything. So far, though, actually, there you go. Nitro going to start things off, but an immediate return from Stanislaw. Nitro as well is able to take out Stanislaw, though, and Liquid is going to find their way onto the site here. Still holding, though, is going to be Hades as he finds this op shot popping out of guard and takes out Naf. And now only two defenders left here from Liquid as they have taken the site, but they've got it hold off as the bomb is down. Unfortunately, they're going to have players coming from all avenues here, as pretty shortly Glorens is going to be ready to push in through Banana as well. Adren could be a problem from him, but now they're pushing in. Slip making himself a little bit too aggressive there, and we're also going to see Adren taking out Glorens too, but as you'll see, Hades misses the shot, so close range. Gets hit with a frag. They're trying to hold C if he can find anything. Adren's not going to want to pressure him, however, only down to 10 HP, and actually switches to the pistol, gets the headshot, but even at the end of this, even if he does take out Hades, not going to have enough time, and just like that now, we will see Nitro executing the last player and giving Liquid the round.
Yeah, a beautiful take. Another great entry from Nitro, who, you know, we didn't mention his name as the top fraggers, but he's gotten some great entry frags for his team in this match. And not only that, but Adren on that retake, 2 versus 3, and that's a tough battle to win, and he wins it. That was absolutely crucial. If he falls there, Nitro's in a lot of trouble, but nice hold from Team Liquid on the retake.
Absolutely. And we'll see, too, just what Team Liquid is trying to do. They only need 1 more round to take this. Should be a fairly easy one to do, too, considering what Tempo Storm has. They don't really have much in their arsenal here. And as you can see, Adren already going to start things off very well. Naf as well is able to take out Slip. Elige takes out Rick. This leaves only Glorens as well as Stanislaw alive. And just like that, Glorens is down. It looks like, guys, the Team Liquid have cleaned things up nice and easy here in the second half. Stanislaw is going to see what he can do, but again, in a 1 versus 4, and with only this AK now to work with, it's going to be very hard, to say the least, to take this round.
Yeah, and that was a nice match put together by Liquid.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit rough there in the first half, but pulled it together beautifully as they entered the T side and were able to really clean it up there against the guys over on Tempo Storm, as Tempo Storm really had a lot of trouble on their CT side, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's kind of, you know, that's kind of what we said before this match, that both these teams were going to have a couple struggles on their CT side, and it just so happened that Liquid managed it a little bit better. But those woes still continue for Tempo Storm, so they're going to have to look at their defensive halves and see what they can change up and see what they can fix.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, guys,